630 WBZT West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station. The thoughts and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and don't necessarily reflect those of the station or iHeartMedia.
Hi, it's Leah, here to tell you about Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. He's a pain specialist located in southern Palm Beach County, so if you are somebody that you know is suffering in pain, Dr. Pannozzo is the one you guys need to call. And make that call today, because living in pain is no way to go through life. Dr. Pannozzo has been in practice now for more than 49 years. He's treated more than 73,000 patients for pain. He's an expert when it comes to diagnosing the pain, and he has had huge turnarounds. In fact, people living with scoliosis, he has had nearly a 100% turnaround. Lumbar pain as well. If you've got lower back pain, if you're suffering with migraines or flat feet pain, maybe pain in your elbows, your neck, your shoulders, Dr. Pannozzo can help you. And the greatest thing is he can help you without drugs, without surgery, and without having to go through weeks and months of rehabilitation. Give him a call today. Set up an appointment. It's 561-381-5800. Tune into his show Sundays, 11 to noon. And now, here's this week's edition of the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour.
Good morning, everybody. I know you've missed my voice, but I'm here today. I'm here today with Connecticut, Dr. Pannozzo, and Freddy.
Who is this guy?
Oh, wait, I was supposed to be at another show. I'm at the wrong station again.
The wrong station.
You're in the wrong place.
Oh, my gosh. Doc, how you doing, buddy?
Glad to see you back.
Talk to me about something that we always talk about, but I want to let you know about this.
Freddy's here.
Oh, hi, Freddy.
Hey.
Freddy's our sports guy.
How you doing?
Well,
How you
yeah,
feeling?
I feel great today. Today's a good day. Years and years and years and years, and the 3 years we've been doing this, you've been telling everybody the same thing. Migraines do not come from orange juice, liver, chocolate, or the sun.
Or MSG or whatever.
Or MSG, right, soy sauce. And everybody around said, poo, 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 he's wrong. He doesn't, okay. A highly respected neurologist who won't give his name because he'd like to stay in business, they did a blind study with 50 people. And all these people suffered severely from migraines. They took half the group and took them off of all the livers and everything. And the other half of the group, they kept them on. You know what it was? They still got the migraines.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
Still got the migraines. And basically what the doctor is saying, that migraines does not come from foods. It comes from something in the neck that causes the pain in the head.
Yeah, it's a physical problem. And you can put your finger on it.
Yeah.
And treat it if you know where it is, which I do. And we're getting a 100% cure rate. By the way, people are calling me up and making appointments for ringing.
That's a big thing, ringing in the ear.
It is a big thing, and it is absolutely treatable. And call me on it. Hey, if you don't get relief, I'll do it for free. You know, the thing about it is, on ringing, you're the only one who knows it. There's no test for it.
Really?
No test at all.
Well, how can you test ringing?
I guess you're right.
Because it's
I just pick up the phone when it happens.
It's an abnormal sensation that you feel, but it's not based on the ear or the nerve to the ear, acoustic nerve. Mm-hmm. It's not at all. It's based on the neck. And every one of them has had a bad accident involving the neck.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And all you have to do is take a history. And the people who are treating this that don't do it, do it. It's good for you. And you'll see a big difference.
And another thing that you've spoken about for many, many times, your ear thing is on the wrong way. This one here. So you're only listening to half.
I couldn't hear.
You're only listening to half of the show, Doc. So let's repeat. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Pannozzo Show. Okay. Another thing that he spoke about many, many times, which is they're finding out now. They're finding out. Remember when you spoke about autism?
Yes.
Okay. They're finding out that they don't want to publish this yet, but I read this article. I don't know how I find these articles. And they're looking at people, the children they're pulling out, that they're not hurting the neck. That sounds kind of dirty, doesn't it?
How come I'm always right? Honest to God.
I don't know.
I'm in this business, that's why. You got to believe what I say.
You've been
I don't
doing
say
this
anything until I'm really sure about it.
Well, listen, Chicago, you're going to be surprised when you hear all this stuff soon. Now, they're finding out. Now, people, this is my way of telling people something that I believe in. Understand one thing. everyone that has a dictionary or a thesaurus, I'll tell you what a thesaurus is later, Freddie, okay?
Thank you.
Remember one thing. There's relief and there's cure. Recent survey came out about Botox. Now, I can say this because I didn't come out with the survey. I'm just reading it. That it says that, quote, Botox lasts for 3 to 4 months. And every 3 to 4 months, you have to come back and get a vial of Botox. So it relieves the pain, but it doesn't get rid of the pain.
Well, it doesn't really relieve the pain. It's a different tissue. It's a wrong tissue. They're treating muscles, and the ligaments are the problem. So they're way off. They're misdiagnosing and mistreating. Don't do Botox. It's not going to help you. If you want to spend your money, go ahead, but it's not a good thing to do.
Now, I'm going to give you. Do you know why Botox came out now for migraines? There was another big article. Because dermatologists were losing money because of Medicare. Medicare.
Don't I know that?
Because when the older people came in for their shots or the scrapings for the cancers, Medicare only covered a small portion. And the doctors were saying it cost me more money. So they started coming out with Botox and Juvederm to get rid of the wrinkles here. Okay, so one guy said, wait a second, we're not making money as a neurologist. Let me give him Botox. Yeah. Okay? Think about that.
Well, it doesn't work, and it's repeat business. The difference with my office is we're trying to get rid of you forever.
Oh, yeah.
When you come in there, we never make another appointment for you. People ask me, when do I come back? I said, don't come back. You don't need to come back.
But Botox doesn't take away. It's working on tissue or the muscle.
Well, that's what I said.
It's snake venom.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does. It takes away your wrinkles.
Not permanently.
But that's muscular, though.
Muscular. Then you got to come back every 3 months.
It has nothing to do with the ligaments that cause migraine. That's the problem. They're treating the wrong thing. Well,
what else is new?
Listen, if people don't. I was having a discussion with a patient the other day. You have to investigate things on your own.
Sure, it's your body.
You have to know what words mean. You got to look them up. This is big stuff. This is your life. Don't depend on someone else to tell you anything. You want to evaluate what they're telling you, if it's correct or not. So you want knowledge. You got to have knowledge. Go ahead.
Okay. So now I'm just going to give you some facts. I'm going to go through some letters. Okay. Last year, ready for this? 182 concussions in the NFL. You're the sports guy. That's amazing, isn't it?
192.
100. Okay.
But they changed the rule again.
What's that now?
What happened last Thursday in the first game of the season? Cam Newton got bounced around, hit a few times, and they did not pull him out of the game.
No.
Okay. So what happens? There was a knee-jerk reaction. They're saying you got to pull the player out of the game when he's woozy. So
they hit him head-to-head?
Head-to-head 3 times.
Yeah.
3 different plays.
On
the Thursday night game with Buffalo and the Jets.
Jets won.
The kid got smacked around from the Buffalo team. He got pounded. They took him immediately out of the game. They asked him the 10 questions. What time is it? Where are you? And they put him back in the game. And the hit that he took looked a lot worse than the one that Cam Newton took.
Yeah, I think they're correct, but they're not looking at the right thing, which is the neck.
That's right. They're looking in the head.
They should examine the neck when they're doing that. It's not a brain problem.
No.
And they'll cite examples like Powell. Remember, he committed suicide because of concussions.
Junior Seau.
But there's a lot of guys who lose their sense of balance, if you know what I mean, early in their 40s and 50s, and it shows up in their 60s and 70s, Alzheimer's. But the thinking process is affected earlier than that. And you can bring that out. I ran into that a lot when people would come to see me about pain in their leg, and they ended up having Alzheimer's because they never understood what they were talking about. So anyway, that's just an aside.
Junior Seau, they opened up the head, and they noticed there was all sorts of stuff messed up in there, and he killed himself. Same thing with Ken Stabler. They opened up his brain, and now they're saying that
Ken Stabler died, didn't he?
Yeah, they're saying that because of these looking in the brain after you die, that's where they're getting the concussion information.
Well, no, they should just test for it. I don't see the opening the brain or.
They gotta wait till you die.
They shouldn't do anything on speculation.
Oh, you can't fix it because you're alive.
But I have some figures here.
It's got very funny, Freddy. Hanging around with us, right?
I got some figures here.
Go ahead.
There's $100 million in new concussion research from the NFL. 60 million would go towards technological improvements. This is from Manx, looks this stuff up too, including the possible creation of a new helmet. 40 million would go towards medical research into head injuries. I have no idea. They don't do the right thing. They're looking at heads instead of necks. They ought to, why is it? Talk to me. I'll tell them how to do it.
It's $100 million contract, 60 million going towards a helmet company.
Yeah. Right now.
They have a new helmet coming out. They used to use air pressure in helmets, and then they went to water, liquid in helmets. Now they're going to the system that you plug the helmet in, and it cools or heats depending on what you want. And you plug the helmet in, and the pads into your shoulder pads and rib pads, and the shock distributes down your body. That's the latest technology. Helmet costs about $1,000.
That's no technology. I don't know what
what's
the goal.
The goal
Unless
is,
you have a goal, you know what you're trying to treat.
That's the key right there, a goal.
They want to dissipate the impact. They want to spread the impact outwards. They want all the impact to go into your shoes. Hey, listen.
I tell you, there's an easy way to do it. Just wear a collar.
They have those now.
Yeah. Well,
They got collars now that stimulate your neck during the game.
no, we don't need to stimulate anything. It has to take the force backwards.
Yes, they
That's
have
all.
those.
Yeah.
Listen, the newest problem in sports, I just saw this the other day. I was shocked. Soccer, between the ages of 7 and 17, is the number one reported injury sport in the country right now.
Wow. Soccer?
What is it in Europe, though?
And not Europe. No, let's not get
wonder
there.
I wonder what the figures are in Europe.
I don't know. But this is the first time that soccer has been ranked because all of a sudden they have a way of reporting it. And kids get concussions.
How? Oh, when they fall.
They hit on the back of their heads. They fall back, yeah. Kids are kind of clumsy, and they run into each other and crack this. But I'm all upset. My Met team, now they lost DeGrom to a nerve-ending situation in his elbow that flares up. And there's a nerve in there, has a name. They're going to operate that, and they're going to shut him down. Doc, I don't get it. Neil Walker, herniated disc. Operation, they shut him down. 9 of the Met starters are all been injured.
You got a bad medical staff there, and I don't mind saying it. I don't.
No, you should.
I don't get anything from them. This is what I see as reasonable. You don't do all those things to these players. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Put them on the bench. Don't do anything.
Look at Del Rio. Del Rio from the Gators, their number one quarterback, got hit in the leg, and now they took him in for an MRI. They think it's an ankle strain. Or in fact, last year in the NFL, they had 168 hamstrings that pulled these guys out of working for 4 to 6 weeks. Hamstring.
All of those can be evaluated before they got hired.
Now, I'm going to give you a
Before
new
they
injury.
start playing. I'm not kidding.
A new injury in the NFL, which I never heard of before, is calf injury. CALF, calf injury. Something happens in the calf, guys can't play for weeks. I'm not talking days. I'm talking about weeks.
Well, let me give you a little secret. The calf muscle crosses the knee, and that's where the injury is.
But this is my point. I don't get it, Les.
Well, let me explain to all the new listeners. Dr. Pannozzo is a graduate of the Big O, Ohio State University, with a medical degree, did all the research, did all his internship, and specialized in one field, musculoskeletal. So he knows more about the muscles in the body, the skeletal part of the body, the nerves, everything that controls your body, and he knows where the cause comes from. Here's what people understand. You can't fix something if you don't know where it came from.
Exactly right.
All right?
Right.
I mean, so now you know what I want to do? I want to close this book because we got a whole bunch of questions from all over the country.
We've only treated about 70-some thousand people. We have a lot of experience.
I got to tell Leah that now it's about 90. Okay, so they're going to redo those commercials.
Paul, my son, is going gangbusters over there. He's so busy, I feel sorry for him. He doesn't get a chance.
Well, Paul's got 3 offices.
He doesn't rest up. Yeah, well, he's young yet, so he can do it.
And I just want all you new patients that come in, if you get upset that you're waiting, the reason why you're waiting is he does research to find out where that pain came from.
Oh, it's an examination.
And when that thumb goes on there and you jump, he found where that pain came from.
Well, people don't mind waiting in my office.
No, they know they
why?
get cured.
You know why? Because everybody gets what they need to have.
That's exactly
There's no shortchanging anybody. And if you wait, fine. If not, just come back.
Well, there was a lady that said to me, "Well, we got movies because he has the TV running. We got music.
He's got the opera. Yeah.
Can we get some popcorn?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell popcorn and
Wait.
drinks at your place. I'll make a fortune."
Well, you know what we ought to do? We ought to get one of those popcorn machines in there and a coffee machine so they can say, the lady, here's this funny story. The lady that came in with a husband with the migraines when I was there on,
Which ones?
wait, I'll tell you, the one who's a hairdresser. The hairdresser came with a husband and she's gone through all this stuff.
Just lately, yeah.
Yeah, and Manx was talking to the husband, so I brought out the lady because I figured Manx, God bless him, I love him. He talks to everybody, and I spoke to the lady. She said, "You know what? I walked into his office, and I saw every chair taken, and the first thing that hit my mind is, he probably knows what he's doing." She said, "This is the first time that I could remember having no pain." And we talked. I wanted to keep it there as long as I could to see if it came back. I said, "How's it doing?" She says, "I don't have it.
To me,
I don't have it."
Yeah.
And no, she said, "Doc, I don't care if my insurance doesn't cover it." She wrote him a check. I don't care. There's nothing more. People don't understand. She said that when you get a migraine and you have to stay out of work and you work on, as a hairdresser, I don't cut. I don't get paid. She said, that means a lot. Okay, Doc, the guy's giving the finger here. Let's go. I don't mean that finger. Okay, Doc, ready?
Index.
Index finger. Okay. Doc, from Boston, Massachusetts. I love that place, Boston.
Yeah,
I really
Boston.
do.
Great. Go ahead.
Scott from Boston writes, "Doc, I am a sufferer, of very bad migraines and have been for over 4 years. I can't believe that you have a cure for migraines and haven't shared this with the whole world." Well, we are right now. "There are days I can't work or get things done. I come to find out your show holds a secret to getting rid of migraines. Can you tell me how you do it, and is this really a cure?" So let's talk about what Scott says. He's a new listener. He's from Boston, and he's out of work a lot because of severe migraines.
Well, then I get on a plane and come down and we'll take care of it. What can I say? I mean,
Well, the bottom line here is that I guess
look, if your doctor wants to know how to do it, tell him to call me.
Yeah, we don't care.
That's right.
He can't do it because
I
he has
can't treat 6 billion people in the world. I can only treat
Well, you can try one at a time.
one at a time.
have
Yes,
to make the office bigger.
They could call Dr. Pannozzo at 561-381-5800, and you'll talk to his doctor and tell him, "Listen, this is the way I do it."
Well, yeah.
And they're going to say probably, "How do you know that works?" "Well, I've been doing it for 50-some-odd years."
Well, we know because people tell me. When you have a migraine, it's hard to, unless you know where it's from. I can put my thumb on it. And
Oh, yeah, I saw
agree.
you do it.
But things like ringing, you're the only one who knows.
Ringing in the ears.
No one else knows that.
But everybody looks in the wrong place for ringing in the
They're
ears.
looking in the wrong place. It's not an ear problem. It's a neck problem.
Well, Doc, with neurologists, what does the neurologist actually do? I really don't know what a
Well,
neurologist
they don't
does.
treat musculoskeletal problems, which is this.
They treat brain.
They treat the nerve diseases,
Okay.
and they're good at it. They should do that.
Yeah.
But, they should not do what I do, though, because they can't.
And are there really crystals in the ear?
No.
Okay.
And do they make up some of the stuff because they really don't know and they guess?
Yeah, they do research, and they do the best estimate they can from the papers they write, and then they teach that. When you go to conferences, you need hours, for the state. So you go to these things, and they tell you things, and you come back and try to use them, but they make no sense, and you're not allowed to question them. The question the
I mean,
professor.
it's true what he says.
When you hear this stuff, and there was one that had sacroiliac joint problems, and I said, "Well, how do you know that?" And he walked away. He said, "Go do your own research."
Really?
I mean, these guys. Well, we had a professor from Boston. Remember last time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The girl talked to Elbow.
right.
He just
Poo-pooed it.
put her down. That's not a professor.
So, Scott, if you really want to get rid of your migraines, this is a beautiful place. I love Boston, by the way. Call Dr. Pannozzo at 561-381-5800. If you want your doctor to call Dr. Pannozzo, understand one thing. Unless you have the machinery that he
They're not going
has.
to be able to do it.
He can't do
I'll
it.
tell him what I do, and then
Yeah.
he can send him down there.
Okay.
Or continue to suffer with the migraine.
We have a 100% cure rate for migraine, ringing,
Vertigo.
vertigo.
Well, Duff from the other station has vertigo.
Well, tell him to come.
But I've never seen a human being go through a case of vertigo. So he stands up, he walks out in the waiting room, and he sits down. I thought he was having a heart attack.
He went to see doctor?
No,
Oh.
this was on Friday. So I say, "Duff, what's the matter?" He says, "I have vertigo, and I'm getting an attack right now."
Oh, yeah.
His eyes crossed. I said, "Are you okay?"
That is true. I had a professor when I was in undergraduate school, a great guy. He knew everything, and people accused him of being a drunk because he would walking outside. He had to hold on to a light pole because he was dizzy until it quieted down. But it was vertigo, and now we treat that. No problem at all.
I told him, "Come with me. Let's go see Dr. Pannozzo." Now, this is a guy, Doc. After an hour, he started settling down. He says, "I'm still dizzy." He almost threw up.
Duff Lindsay, right?
Duff Lindsay.
Oh, yeah. I know
And he
Duff.
goes to me, I'm going to go home and lay down. Now, this is a guy who's going to get in a car and drive a vehicle.
Well, that's what happened to the girl I brought in.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
No.
You could kill somebody with
She
that.
used to pull off the side of the road because she started getting dizzy.
That's what I told him.
Yeah.
I said
That's scary. It really is. Okay. Another Boston. I love Boston. That's one of my favorite places. It really is. Alice from Boston writes, I went on your website and saw that you can fix a damaged ACL. My brother plays football here in Boston, has been shut down for a torn ACL and will be not playing next year after rehab. My question is, how long would it take to fix an ACL damage? And what does the rehab work look like? Well, first of all, I can answer that question.
First of all, there's no ACL.
Right.
You can't get to it. Plus, it's not painful because the inside of the knee has no pain fibers, nerves, that register with the brain pain. Now, for instance, if I do that, I have a nerve that goes to the brain, tells me I'm hurting myself. In an ACL, there's no nerves inside the knee. They stop at the ligament structure around it. So there's no ACL. Okay?
so there's no ACL injury.
The treatment is patellar. That's where the problem is. In the front of the knee.
Did you say Penn and Teller the magicians or Patella?
No.
Patella.
Patella, not something you smoke either. It's a pentatella.
That's peyote. How do I know this stuff? Connie, peyote.
I don't want to go into your past life.
No, you really don't.
Now, what's the name of the person that wrote that question?
That was Alice from Boston.
Alice, and she's probably shocked to hear that somebody close to her is going to be put on the shelf and rehab. That's a year process, that operation.
It's stupid. There's nothing to operate there.
Now, just to let you know, there's some more articles about Tommy John surgery that they don't want to talk about.
Did you notice that Tommy John surgery is no longer talked about?
No.
Nobody wants to do
why?
it anymore, Doc?
No kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody got smart.
See, what you don't understand, and it's
Nothing to
funny,
operate.
people out there are listening to you, and they're questioning.
Oh, it's a
their
good
doctors.
coincidence, I can tell you that.
That's dangerous.
I read the article.
Yep. So
I mean,
did I.
you read it, where they say they're not talking so much about it because the rate of success is lower than they used to say.
It's less than 24%.
Yeah, it's got to be 85% or don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
general-
way lower.
General thing in medicine.
And
No,
you heard it here on the Dr. Anthony Pannozzo show.
Now, that professor who promoted this, whoever it is, I don't even
Guy
know
in
who
California.
it is. The guy should go away for a while because it never made any sense. They were just promoting it as another thing for the surgeon to do. And surgeons, you got to wise up. Don't do things that are dangerous.
Well, let's look at this logically. A surgeon goes to school to learn surgery. That's all he really knows. He reads the MRI from some guy with pimples on his face who just got from ITT training, which went out of business. It says here's where the problem is, and they operate. Or they do therapy. Okay? There was a player that the guys in the back were saying, the guy said so much therapy, how come he still can't play? He was limping.
Well,
I mean, you don't see how many people got hurt on that Alabama game?
look, Lucas Duda had a cracked vertebra in his lower back, Doc.
Wow.
They say
You
his
can't
season.
get a cracked vertebra.
Thank you. You told me that. You told me that 3 months ago when they diagnosed that. Guess who they activated off the disabled list yesterday? Lucas Duda. I guess it wasn't a cracked vertebra.
No,
This is the problem, Doc.
How can you
Can't
crack
get
a
a crack.
vertebrae? It's almost impossible,
You
isn't it?
can't. You can't crack a bone. You know, these, what do they call it? They're aligned fractures. You ever hear that?
I never heard of that.
It's a vein they're looking at. There is no fracture of those bones.
So he had a cracked vertebra by swinging the bat.
You can't get it. No.
My goodness gracious, do you know the torque you must have to
Whoa.
crack anything?
How would you even get it? The ligament is what to take. The ligaments take up the torque, not the bone. You can't get a fracture of a bone.
Well, I guess you're right because they
These
activated him
The
yesterday.
surgeons got to wise up and quit doing that. That's
What
not
you
right.
hear, folks, on this show, that is you're probably saying to yourself, huh? it's real. And if you don't believe it's real, Freddie, how do they go to get his app?
You go to Pannozzo, PANNOZZO.TV, download the app, and watch everything Dr. Pannozzo's talking about.
And you can see real x-rays, real people, and pretty soon coming to your neighborhood. You will see the Dr. Pannozzo reality show of real patients coming in. And
that show is real. I mean,
it's real. The only thing...
this person who was talking about the migraine
Alice,
probably saw that show.
Of course.
We don't show the what I do. We just talk about what before and after.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to show people what to do. That's for the physicians. But
they can't do what you do.
I mean, you may not like to see what they have to do. But anyway, that's probably what they were looking at.
Let me tell you something. After coming out of the hospital, I don't want to be operated on. Okay? If there was a way for them to cure what I have with you, I would be sitting in your office all the way. And he also helped me with my wrinkles, by the way. I
noticed that.
You notice this?
Yeah.
My wife says, "Oh my God, you're doing the Pannozzo again." She calls it the Pannozzo cure. I come out, my face is all red. And then when my daughter came out with it, she said, "Dad, he's right. That's how you get rid of all that skin, get rid of those wrinkles." Doc, you're amazing. Now, help me perform better in the sack, Doc, and then you're my doctor forever.
He's not a magician.
Very good.
But I could give you a shot.
Oh, God, I'm going.
Wow. Doc, is that going to be a new brand of Pannozzo Miracle Cure?
That could be,
I got news for you, Doc. You would have to get 18 people in your office to help you.
We got to do some research on that. But
no, Doc, thank you. You can research all you want.
I think I have it solved.
Freddie, seriously. Freddie, why don't you go and check
That's
out?
another big market. People ask me all
it's
the time.
It's tremendous.
What can I do with the
multi-billion-dollar market? How come you always send me first?
Because you're young.
No, you go first.
You're younger.
You're younger.
You're 25 years younger than me.
I let the doc be. I'll be a guinea pig for the doc. Wait a minute. Where are we doing? What are we doing?
Does he look like a mafia guy? A mafia enforcer?
Oh, stop it.
Okay.
Listen, where are we?
No,
where?
mafia guys have hair.
That's right.
And mustaches. And
Big Paulie. Let's get some more questions before we go. We don't want this to sound like the two boys from Brooklyn, right?
Right.
Okay. Jojo from New York City
funny
writes.
show, people. It's a funny show.
It is. Jojo from New York City writes, "My doctor has been working with me for over a year to remove my lower back pain."
Over a year?
Over a year. And what'd you say? If you can't get cured that day, you're at the wrong doctor.
Oh, you got to go 1 day, 2 days. That's it.
Many different doctors and chiropractors later. I am in the same shape I was when I started. My lower back seems like it's on fire when I move, and both my legs tingle. I wanted to ask you if the pain was something that could be worked out in your office. My doctor says that this kind of pain needs to be treated in a hospital and operated on. I disagree. What do you think?
I disagree absolutely.
Yeah.
What are they going to operate? Just think about, what does a surgeon operate on the lower back?
Yeah, and the chiropractors...
Where's the pain coming from? You got to know that first. Right. The pain comes from the ligament. Now, what he's talking about is a referral, we call that a referred pain, from the ligament in his back. That's what holds the bones together, ligament.
Right.
And inside of that is a disc, which you never talk about because it's inert. It doesn't do anything. It helps with the rotation because it's a liquid. It helps with the rotation. But the pain that you get is from the ligament. So when you operate, what do you operate on? You take the ligament out? No, you can't do that. There should be no surgeries for the lower back, absolutely none. And no fusions, especially fusions.
That's what they did with David Wright.
Yeah,
and it's funny,
wrong.
David they operated on, he's done, and Lucas Duda they didn't operate on, and he's back.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on, are you kidding me?
So when you know where the pain comes from, so you can evaluate what the treatments are for that, you say, what are you talking about? There is no manipulation for that. You can't get to it. It's deep in the body, and there's no PT for it. And if you follow the PT, what they do for a low back pain, they don't even touch it. Nothing near it. So you don't do that. And no chiropractic for that, and no surgery for that. So guess what? I'm the only one who has survived.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure
out for that. And I do.
How can chiropractors do anything for that? I mean, look, I'm not saying anything about what doctors do, but I can't understand how chiropractors could do the things.
They can't because it's a ligament and it's deep in the body. What they're doing is sliding joints like this. They're cracking joints is all they're doing, and that's dangerous. You shouldn't do that.
And let me tell you something, folks. We're not trying, just to let everybody know, all these new listeners, we're not trying to sell anything. We have nothing to sell. This is an informational show, and just when you see the reality show, this isn't a bunch of doctors walking around in fancy cars. This is a doctor that is, I guess, put your whole life into helping people not have to go for surgery.
We're having a problem with the Medicare right now because they don't understand what a ligament does. There's no code for the treatment for it. And so I said, well, what are you paying for on a surgery? You're paying for the ligament. Why do you want to pay for that and you don't want to pay for treatment of that? Because it's not where in your literature. But how about if the guys who write literature don't write that? Does that make it not true? They have nowhere to go.
They're coding things, Freddie. This is funny because I read all the paperwork. They're coding things that don't work. So they'd rather you go to somebody that doesn't work.
They said, why don't you send people for an epidural? I said, because epidurals don't work.
Right.
I mean, how many do you want them to have? 10, 20? I mean, one is enough. They're numbing the whole thing, and the problem is a ligament.
Mm-hmm. They can't understand what you're doing.
It's called an annulus. So we sent them. Now, we had two people come in the office, a man and a wife. I can't believe it. I can't make this stuff up.
I know, I see it.
They both had tingling into their legs. And they spent untold amounts of money, Medicare money, to find out what was wrong, and nobody could tell them. So they come in my office, and I said, okay, well, I know where that is from, because we treat it. Medicare has a question about it, but this is real stuff. So one had scoliosis, and the other one had scoliosis too, man and wife together. And they both had the same symptoms in the leg. So I straightened that out. I gave him a shot in the annulus. I treated the annulus, and the pain went away. I'm going to send a CD with these two people on it to Medicare to look at because they don't understand how you treat these things. They're in 1940s.
That's right.
50s.
That's it right on the head.
It's real, and this we're 100%. This is state of the art right now.
Well, we got New World Order now. There's a New World Order coming out, Doc.
There is.
Yes, because what I've discovered is that in Major League Baseball, the bigger market teams, Major League Baseball needs those teams to do well. You know, the Mets are chasing a wild card dream because everybody's hurt, but they're still in the hunt, right? You're talking about billions of dollars. So these players that they're bringing up, these rookies that I never heard of before, are keeping the Mets in contention. There's plenty of money being generated by these kids playing, right? Mm-hmm. That's why they don't want to talk about Tommy John anymore in Major League Baseball. That hurts the game. What happened last year, it destroyed. So we got to play towards the greed, right? So all of a sudden, let's say Dr. Pannozzo comes along and you start bringing some of these guys back. Now the Major League Baseball teams have a choice. They could either keep the old school and lose money, or they could try something new, New World Order,
you bet,
and keep that money rolling in. It's up to them.
The trouble is that they have some kind of relationship with the surgery. They think that's it. Those guys are tops. They're not.
They do
surgical things. There are other developments in medicine, and you got to keep up with them. Like I tell Medicare, you got to keep up with the new stuff. You can't go, and hold people back. People need that treatment. So, same thing with the football or the baseball. They ought to seek better stuff. Musculoskeletal medicine is new, and I'm a proponent of it. I think I've done more research on that than anybody.
Oh God, how many 50-something years?
Yeah, and
it works.
70-something. Well, it works.
That's the bottom line.
Now, when you come to my office, you don't see a lot of people waiting around, even though you mentioned it. And the reason is that they don't have to come back.
That's right. You don't have repeat performance.
Now, we have a lot of people who can't play golf. And they come in my office, the next day they're playing 18 holes. How does that happen?
I can tell you how it happens. Because I met the guy. This is the best story. I've repeated this, but every time we get new people for anything, it's okay. This guy came in, he said, I listened to Leah. I watched your show. And every time I went to my doctor, he said, doesn't know what he's talking about. It can't be done. I finally said, I'm going to see this guy. So true story. I was sitting there. We were going to lunch. I said, come on, let's go. The guy said to me, I came in 2 days ago. He gave me a shot in the left and the right. I went and played golf the next day, Les. And you know what? The only reason I'm coming back is to tell him, thank you. He's never come back, and I saw it. That's the key. I mean, and the guy came in to thank him. So now Tiger Woods is coming back.
Nah, he's done.
No, they say he's coming back, but
he's done.
They don't have the techniques.
No.
And I'm predicting that.
And they haven't learned anything at all,
No, they haven't.
which is so sad.
Yeah.
You know, if you have that pain and you went through all the garbage he's gone through and he hasn't learned. And this is the one thing that I had to keep saying over and over. We do this show every week.
Mhm.
Everywhere. We're posting it everywhere. We're doing it on social media everywhere. You don't have to quite understand change. Just try it. Because change ain't bad.
No,
You know, something that he does, nobody else does.
except
But
his
people,
son.
but people are starting to listen to what
Remember
he's
one
doing.
thing, we're only trying to please the patient.
Yeah.
We're not trying to please the doctors. I couldn't care what they think.
No,
If they want to know how to do it, they could call me. But we want to please the patient. The patient is the one we're taking oath for. You know, so we're not going to do anything that doesn't help the patient.
Hippocrates oath.
Yeah, and they are the judge of it. So
Well, and you know what?
if you're doing well, call in and tell people. They want to know.
And also, I'll give out, if any of you chiropractors or any surgeons are out there and you want to call up, it's 1-800-889-0267. He's here. You want to ask him a question on the air. You want to come on the show and debate with him. We're open. We have nothing to hide. And he will show you why. And here's the thing. If you've got a patient that has an ACL, you have a patient that has migraines, you have a patient that has ringing in the ear, I guarantee, and he guarantees, we can't worry about Freddy, he's got no money in this, and that he will take care of that patient.
That's right.
Yeah, we guarantee
And
the
cure
work.
it.
In other words, if we treat it and you're not happy, we'll treat it again, no charge, and we'll make you happy. That's what we're here for.
And he chased an injury from a girl in the gym, and the first time he charged her, second, third, and fourth time he didn't charge. You know why? He said, because I'm going to chase it, and he found it. But now, how many doctors do you know, Freddie? I mean, I've been around for a while.
Absolutely
that would say to you, I'm not going to charge
I
because...
remember her. That was a diagnostic conundrum.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
was.
everything I asked her about, she didn't have, but
Yeah.
she did. And I had to figure all that out. But it was a great case.
And a father said, you know, he's at my age of father, that's why I can't fool around with him. And you know what the father said? He said, now that's a real doctor. That's the old school doctor. Now, here's what I want to say about Medicare, because before I met you, this happened to me. First thing, an orthopedic surgeon says to you, and I don't care who you are, let me check how much PT you need. So Medicare allows 12 of these. Okay. So
we don't want to talk about that.
you don't want to?
No, we don't want to demean them. We want
Yeah, I
to
do,
promote what we have.
Okay. Now there's a classy guy, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's get. I don't want to leave New York out, Doc. Lee from New York writes, I have been hearing all these cases about concussions. Now that football has begun, I wanted to ask you if your work on concussions improved or advanced. I have had 2 concussions over the last year and wanted to know if all the head trauma being done to me is a waste of time. Can you give me a better understanding of what you think about concussions, what they're about, and how one goes treating a concussion? I will be listening today.
I don't know what the question is.
I don't either.
He wants to know if you have
A better answer.
A better answer than
We have
what
a
he's
cure
being
for it.
given.
We have a cure for that.
How's
that's
that?
That's a great answer, but
Yeah.
he wants to know what
There's
the
no
cure.
brain. It's a neck. You have to know where to treat it, and it's not a brain.
It's not a brain injury.
So
Next.
what is a concussion to be? What is a concussion? I still don't know today what a concussion
There's
is.
there's not a good definition of it.
Because you told me it's water around the head, and I'm reading the same thing you said.
It's too safe. The brains are too protected. You don't hurt that, right?
No.
Next question.
Yes, sir. Okay. He's also my producer and director. Jessica from New York City writes, my son was skateboarding at a park in the Bronx and fell and hit his head and his back. I took him to the hospital. They said he had a concussion and bruised spine and kept him in bed rest and keep him in bed rest for 2 to 3 weeks. Now he has the pain in his ear and neck area and thinks the doctors might have missed something. Can you help me?
Absolutely. She's right. They did.
I think that was short and sweet, Doc. I think she wants a little more information about the diagnosis.
It's a neck injury, so
Okay.
she has to go to someone.
Whiplash?
Well, we don't use terms like that.
So if you want, you could call up Dr. Pannozzo after the show, 581,
Or
I forgot it,
Where
56131.
is she from?
She's from New York.
Well, I don't know if you could find someone who understands this in New York, but look around and don't spend a lot of time with anybody if they don't know what they're doing. You can
Right.
tell real quick.
Right. And the old saying is with any doctor, if he can't fix you in 1 or 2 visits, you're at the wrong doctor.
Yeah, and then call me up. It's a neck injury though.
And skateboarders, in general, they do some crazy stuff.
Oh my God, I don't know how they survive.
You see some of this stuff.
Oh
they
my
do?
God! I was watching that BMX thing. The guy's doing a triple flip on a bicycle, fell and hit his head.
Yeah, it's just a very,
That's more
it's a
dangerous.
rough sport, man. That's a rough sport. So
Okay, Mark from Atlanta writes, I have seen my doctor for heel spurs, and he tells me that my diabetes and excess weight have caused me to have heel spurs on my feet.
No.
No.
There are no such thing as a heel spur. It's there, but they don't cause any problem.
It's painful to walk, and staying on my feet to work is impossible. Can they be wrong about the heel spurs and how they come about? And the surgery, my only solution to this problem is they want to operate on a heel spur.
Do not operate on the foot at all, anywhere, because your foot needs mobility. Any scar tissue will decrease the mobility. So you don't want that. What you want to do is have someone who's knowledgeable about the foot to treat that, and not a podiatrist either.
And
Why?
Go ahead, please,
It's
please.
not pejorative on my part. They are surgeons, and I'm talking about musculoskeletal medicine.
Right.
You have to treat that. Do an operating.
Now, no, I know you're right.
how do you know he's right?
Oh, when Leah, who's been doing his endorsements for 3 years, and before Leah even started this, she wanted to meet him to make sure what I told her he does is true. And on the same token, he won't let anyone endorse him unless they have a problem. Leah came in and was going to have a boot. For anyone who doesn't know who Leah is, you go to the iHeart app and can listen to the Love Doctors, and you'll hear Leah. Leah was told that she has to have surgery on her ankle, and that she'd be in a boot and be off her ankle or off her feet for about 3 or 4 weeks. Leah's a very active young lady. She does all that stuff, all that boot camp and stuff.
Sports.
I mean, really a sports fanatic. I mean, keeps her body in.
Anyway, it was her back, and
he found what it was. He made her walk. She just walked and cured it with one shot, but not in the ankle.
yeah,
Okay, that's the difference.
yeah.
Now-
It was in the back. It was an annulus.
Yeah.
The thing that most insurance companies cover these now, because they should. If you do a research on the people in your plan, and you see how many times you're being treated in my office, they stop right there. If you follow them, they get treated at this office, and then after I treat them, they don't get treated anymore. So now you know that it's a good value for the insurance company, and that's how they should do it.
I
They
got
should
a
research the doctors.
I got a question. If I have a company that has 10,000 or 5,000 or even 1,000 employees, and I put a medical plan out, and they go to the doctor and they have operations and all that, that affects the plan, doesn't it?
It affects everybody because the costs go up.
So if I had a doctor like you as part of the plan, they go see you, 90% of the stuff is taken care of. Doesn't that save me money as a company?
Absolutely, it does.
So
Who's advising them? If you look at who's advising them, you might have a internist, a nurse practitioner, an orthopedic surgeon on their little board that they make decisions, and they're not really investigating. I've never had one of these companies call me up and say, "What is your outcomes on this particular problem?"
Really?
They don't do it that way. They don't research. It goes by who likes who. If you have a friend who's a surgeon, you'll put him on, and when I say we could take care of that, no problem.
What do they call the doctors that work at different institutions? The medical director?
Crazy.
No, no, it's not. Medical director, doc. That's what you got to be, medical director at an institution or a business or something.
Can I tell you a story? I was a medical director of my own nursing homes. I designed and built nursing homes, and was state of the art, and I could do what do you call it? Established what we're going to do for these employees.
Right.
So I examined every employee we had, and the injuries went down precipitously because I could pick out who was injured beforehand and who wasn't.
Wow.
Think about this.
And we got money back from the state of Ohio.
Do you know how much money the insurance companies could save by just letting him examine you before?
Well, the insurance companies are in the process of giving out monies, but think about a company.
Yeah.
Well, here's what happens to workman's comp. I'm glad you brought this up because this is real stuff. People will come to me and for their injuries, and I say, well, who's the company? Who's going to pay for this? And they would give me the name of a person, usually female, who's the go-between. And that's the last you see of this person because they're referring everybody to an orthopedic surgeon. And what does he do? If you follow what the surgeons do for a minor injury, they send them for therapy. And they lose work. And they're taking medications, they can't work, they can't sleep, they can't take care of their families. And these little go-betweens are doing a bad job because they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they don't ask you, they don't say what's your program, nothing. They just refer to their friends, the orthopedic surgeons, who refer to their friends, the physical therapists. Mm-hmm. And you can't break into that because the company won't pay unless this go-between says so. First thing the company should do is get rid of the go-between and hire someone who really knows what they're talking about in musculoskeletal business, because that's what most of these are. Nobody has to be off. When I was a medical director of my own company, nobody was off for 3 years. Nobody.
That's amazing.
You know why?
It is amazing.
Because I found out who was hurting and who wasn't, who was going to screw me by making a claim and who wasn't. And I said, okay, I'm going to hire you, but don't even make a claim because I have this on record. You have this already. Wow. And that was the end of that.
Wow.
They worked, never bothered me a bit. We got money back from the state of Ohio. That's the kind of performance you want. And you don't want these people going to surgeons. Surgeons don't do musculoskeletal work. How many times do we have to say this? I mean, it's just incredible.
Well, but if you own a company and you're listening in, you should give a call to have Dr. Pannozzo on staff. Makes a whole lot of business sense. I'm not even talking medicine right now.
No. I mean,
I'm talking about as a business owner, the amount of money that you could save the company is tremendous.
Oh, I mean, it's asinine that people don't understand. That's why we keep doing the show. The problem is we repeat a lot of stuff, so people please don't.
Well, it's the power of the purse.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to Dr. Pannozzo, we're not going to pay for you. So what do?
Pay for yourself.
No, they don't, because they don't have the money. What they do is they'll go, all right, well, and then they make a claim, and then they lose their job.
But even if I work for a company, and Dr. Pannozzo is the medical...
That's ridiculous.
Dr. Pannozzo is the medical director. So let's say that I go to you. That bill for me going to you is picked up by the company. I mean, follow through with me for a minute here. And the pain disappears. You go to a doctor, the way they're doing it now, and the bill is like $25,000 to $50,000.
Right.
So wouldn't it behoove me as a company for you to take care of that? I'll even pay the bill.
Because it's not based on that angle that you're talking about. Because that's reasonable.
New World Order, Doc. New World
It's reasonable.
Order.
What they're promoting is this little lady who sits in this office and gets paid off by these people.
Yes.
And there's always goes to the same surgeons. Always the same surgeons. Always the same physical therapy.
Oh, yes.
You know
And
what?
what improvements do they have? There's no statistics. I mean, if management would take this gal and say, what are your statistics on your people getting well, on your management of this, they would see that's piss poor. Excuse me.
You can say that.
Well, all I can say, New World Order. I think we should be talking to business people, business owner, corporations, daycares, whatever, senior centers. If they were to put you on staff, the money that they would save, whether it's patients or workers, would be tremendous. I mean, you're talking about survival.
It's the same thing with the NFL. They're hiring people who are already injured.
Yeah, but the NFL is a monopoly. They're beginning to see that they better do something, or their $9 billion a year is in jeopardy.
I'm not going to mention the football player, but here's what they told him to take. I'm not going to mention his name. He's very big. He was told to take cold.
What was wrong with him?
Ankle, back, and knees.
Oh.
And he was told to take ice cold baths after every game, which would have been
Every play does.
Okay, and here's what else. He was told to take painkillers like acetaminophen, ibuprofen, and nasoproxen. Did I pronounce it right?
Who knows?
Okay, and painkillers to get him ready for the next game.
Naproxen, yeah.
Okay.
Listen, you don't even have to mention that article because the NFL last year had an
I won't mention
investigation.
the guy's name because I'll get sued.
There was an investigation that came out in the news. NFL investigated the San Diego Chargers, San Francisco Giants, 49ers, for transporting illegal painkillers across state lines.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay? So, you know what? You can look it up. It isn't me saying it, but the NFL uses a lot of painkillers, and some of them are illegal across state line. You have to fill out like 1 billion forms.
That's why when you take your shot from Dr. Pannozzo, it's not an enhancement of steroid, number one. Number two, it can't hurt you. And number three, it's approved by the NFL.
That's right. There's no doping.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
why
doping
suffer?
going on.
Do you realize, guys, NFL guys, Major League Baseball guys, do you know how much money you could save and make by
it's
keeping your number one guy playing?
it's millions.
That's right. The
Millions of
game has
dollars.
changed.
There
Keeping
was
the guy in the
over
game.
1,100 groin injuries in the NFL. Guess what? I had one.
Hey, Les, New World Order. You have businesses nowadays changing
They're
medical.
listening to what he's doing. It's just a matter of time.
Medical care is changing in big companies.
Yeah.
They can't afford it anymore.
No.
People, because of what happened with Obama, all the floodgates open.
Well, it should be more than money. It should be a
Care.
Yeah, but money keeps you open, Doc.
Well, I understand that, but it should be first take care of the patient. Now, if you can't take care of them, you're going to spend money foolishly,
Yeah.
and this is what's going on here. They're spending money foolishly.
4
And,
times the amount of patients that they expected.
Just how
have
much
come
money
forward.
could they put in their pocket if they just didn't pay it out to surgeons, to the hospitals? You know, I mean, it's an incredible amount. It's millions and billions.
It's the
of
difference between a company staying open
Yeah.
and closing.
That's right.
That's the difference. And if you're a company owner right now, or you are listening to this program and you don't take advantage of this, and you're out of business in 6 months, you got no one to blame but yourself.
Workman's comp will kill you right there.
Well, Medicare's changing.
You know, if management really likes their employees, and they should, because the employees are what makes the company. You can manage the company, but the employees actually do the work for you.
That's right.
And if you don't appreciate that, you want to keep them out of pain. You want to keep them out of being disabled. You want to keep them out of suing you. You want them as part of you, part of your existence. And then you're going to seek the better care for these people, and not have somebody, some little woman, making a decision on who to send these people to.
That's right.
And because what do they know? What do they know? Tell me what they know. They don't know much. They
But a
don't go
lot
to
of people
school,
don't know what you know.
and they're just secretaries. Well, that's what I'm saying. A person in that position should be seeking knowledge of the doctors who they're commingling with, and make the right decision for the patient. The patient is the one. The employee is the one that's part of the family. You got to take care of them.
Well, let me tell you something, folks. Here's what I've learned working with you for all these years. I have sent you more people that have had ankle, knee problems. Because what they found out, which I didn't know, I do know now, is when you get your knee operated on, what happens after that, Freddie? Scar tissue.
Scar tissue.
Can operate on scar tissue.
And there's also the thing of infection, there's all the
God.
rehabbing, there's everything. And then your age comes into play. It's not like we're in Florida and everybody down here is 20 years old.
No.
That's not what's happening right here. This society down here is older.
Much older.
And people that are older, they like to play their golf, they like to play with their games and be able to move around. That's not happening.
But I like what you say. But remember, pain has no age limit.
It does not. As I seen in your
Everybody's made the
office.
same, no
That's
matter
right.
how
we had
old they are.
we had a kid 16.
Yeah, but I'm still talking to, I still get caught up on
Oh,
the
we
idea.
just had another one, a high school kid.
The kid that referred all the other people that were
Yeah,
injured.
there's, he
And he's
had-
pitching, right, Doc? The kid is playing.
He's a third baseman.
Third baseman. We thought it was a pitcher. It was a
He
third
was
baseman.
third
Third
baseman,
baseman?
and they went to the finals. This is a Parkland.
Is he playing?
Yeah.
And he hit 5 home runs
Really?
in the playoffs.
And he shouldn't have been playing according to his coach.
Yeah.
According to his coach, he was not playing.
Has the
and you
coach
be-
called you?
As a coach called.
No.
And you being a coach,
Here's a problem with the coach. They don't know enough to call you. They
Then
don't.
give me a number. I will call him.
I don't
no,
know.
seriously.
I will call him. I'm serious.
I don't know who it is. The parents bring their.
I'll go to the game and seek
Parents
out the
bring their
coach.
children in. The coach doesn't recommend it. they recommend doing nothing.
Well, his eyes must have lit up when that kid came and said,
And
"I'm
you
ready to
have
go
to
in."
have a
There was
heavy
another.
arm.
There was another kid from the same school. I mean, I hope the parents are listening to this because these are all treatable things. He had elbow pain and the shoulder pain. Okay, the elbow we treated one shot. That elbow come right out. He normal elbow 1 day. The other problem was shoulder, which wasn't a shoulder at all. It was scoliosis between the shoulder
There you
blades. Now we straightened that out though. I gave him a couple of shots back there, and his spine straightened right out, right in front of the mother.
And is he playing?
And he's playing also.
And we've got the actual videos of this.
But what I did for that kid, I saved him from a lifetime of grief because this scoliosis way up on top like that. First of all, he can't even wear a suit right because his shoulder's up. See?
And not only did you save him from that, you saved him, he could play.
And he's playing. So they should not take these injuries lightly and set them on a bench and forget about it. They should,
Wow.
the parents should bring these people in for evaluation anyway. Just take a look at it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And folks, as always, this time seems to fly by, and I want to thank Dr. Pannozzo. I want to thank our producer. I want to thank Freddy. And if you want to get in touch with Dr. Pannozzo, it's 561-381-5800, and don't be surprised if he answers the phone. Because if you
I
ever
always
watch
answer
it,
the phone.
huh?
I always answer the phone.
I know, I've called him at weird times at night, and he will help you. Guaranteed, he will help you. And for all you doctors out there who do not believe that this works, call Dr. Pannozzo. We'd like to have you as a guest on our show. Again, folks, thank you so much. Tune in next Sunday,
See you guys. Thank you.
561-381-5800. You need not be in pain. God bless our troops.
This has been the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pannozzo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others. Visit Dr. Pannozzo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pannozzo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pannozzo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineer concepts for the body.
Stream this report live on our